When life feels unstable or just very full, creativity often doesn't fully disappear, but it retreats from places, whether internal or external, that no longer feel safe enough to hold it. One of the ways I've learned to stay creatively connected across decades, changing roles, and different seasons of my life is through grounding in a special sacred place. When we don't have places, whether they're internal or external, that allow us to soften, creativity doesn't vanish all at once, but it quietly becomes something we keep postponing. In this video, I want to share one sacred place that has quietly helped my own creative life over time. Not as a prescription for you, but as one lived example of what a creative anchor can be. And this is in the hopes of inspiring you to find your own sacred place. This is one answer to the larger question we explored in the video, how do we stay creative when life keeps changing? Which I'll link here so it can play next if you haven't had a chance to already see it. Hello and welcome. I'm Janet, architect turned creative renewal coach and watercolor artist. At Blueprint to Brushstrokes, I work with mid and late career creative souls who feel emotionally depleted, burned out, or unsure how to sustain creativity alongside a very real, very full life. This channel is not about hustle or output. It's about recovery, reconnection, and building a creative life you don't keep losing and then trying to recover over and over again. If that's where you are, I've linked my free Creative Confidence Reflection Guide below, as well as a link to the North Star Mini Reset course for gentle, structured support. In the video, How Do We Stay Creative When Life Keeps Changing?, I introduced the idea of creative anchors, places, practices, or rhythms that help us return to ourselves creatively, again and again, even when everything around us is changing. Today, I want to explore one of those anchors, sacred and familiar places. For some creatives, continuity and creative inspiration comes through a connection to place. This might be a landscape, a garden, a room, shoreline, or a studio. It can also be a place that lives in our memory or our imagination. What makes a place sacred, I've learned, isn't that we're always physically there. It's that that place holds memory, emotional safety, and the sense of creative permission, so that even thinking of it allows our nervous system to soften. I want to share one of mine with you, not as a prescription, but to make the idea tangible for you. Because once you can feel what an anchor does, it becomes easier to recognize your own. As we talk, I'd like to invite you into a very simple sketch. As you know, I like to do these to help ground us. Think of a place that feels familiar or meaningful to you. Somewhere you've returned to, physically or in memory across time. You might sketch a place you know well, or just a little corner of it, or even just the shapes or the feelings that you have about being there. This isn't about accuracy or finishing or doing it right. It's about letting creativity arrive through memory and presence. For me, one sacred place that has quietly held my creativity for many years is Nitobe Memorial Garden at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, BC. I've returned to it across very different seasons of my life. As a child growing up in Vancouver, a university student attending UBC, as an architect, an artist, and a tired person and a recovering person. If you've watched a few of my recent videos, this probably isn't a surprise. I've sketched there in person, and I've also returned to it in photographs and in memory. And today's sketch that I'm doing in this video, I'm doing from memory of one of my favorite lanterns in the garden. What makes a place sacred isn't nostalgia or perfection, it's familiarity. Nitobe is a place I've known since childhood. It has sustained me not only through real-time visits, but also through memory, especially during seasons when I couldn't physically be there. It has been a place of peace in times of stress and a place of quiet joy. I've walked its paths alone and with family, with treasured friends, and even took my now husband there when we were dating. During some of my darkest seasons, including my worst burnout, Nitobe was one of the very first places my mind returned to, seeking peace and refuge in an emotional storm. Those early sketches, drawn from memory, were some of the earliest marks I made as I began to recover and reconnect with watercolor. In my mind's eye, I know the paths. I know the lanterns. I can hear the waterfall. I can see the koi swimming gracefully in the pond. I can smell the western red cedar and the Douglas fir, especially after a rain shower. I can feel the movement of air through the trees. And that familiarity does something important. Even imagining walking through the gate, my nervous system relaxes almost immediately, as if I can leave my worries outside the garden gates, even if only for a short while. When the system relaxes, creativity doesn't have to prove itself. It can simply start to flow. Sometimes I sketch for 10 quiet minutes. Sometimes those sketches unfold into finished work. And sometimes nothing happens at all, except that I feel more grounded. I feel more myself, whether I've been there physically or only in my mind. That to me is continuity. That to me is safety. And that to me grounds me in that sacred place. Sacred and familiar places work as creative anchors because they reduce friction. For the nervous system first, they hold memory so creativity doesn't have to start from nothing each time. They offer safety and a natural sense of authenticity. And they keep creativity connected to being, not just producing. When life changes, and it always does, having a place that remains constant and available can quietly hold the thread. Without places that allow us to settle, if only even briefly, we tend to keep asking creativity to survive inside lives that never truly pause. Sacred places don't just hold us when we visit them. They hold us when we remember them. This is just one way continuity can exist. Not everyone has a garden or a historic place or a studio. Your sacred place might be a corner of your home, a daily walking route, a library, a shoreline, or a sketchbook that travels with you. What matters isn't where, it's how a place allows you to return without pressure. What matters is restoring conditions where safety and memory can do the work, so creativity doesn't keep having to force its way back. Before we close, I'd like to invite you into a short moment of grounding to help you connect more strongly to your sacred space as a creative anchor. You can do this now or later when you have a few quiet moments by yourself. As it feels comfortable, let your body settle. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Feel the surface beneath you. Take a slow breath in and a gentle breath out. And one more time, in and out, relaxed and easy. Now, in your mind's eye, invite a place to come to you. This can be the place you thought of at the beginning of this video or another that comes to your mind now. Let this be a place where you feel safe and supported. It can be real or remembered. You don't need to search for it. Just notice what appears. It might be a garden, a shoreline, a room, a path, or even just a corner of a place you have loved. Now let yourself arrive there quietly. Notice how your body feels as you imagine being there. Does your breath soften? Do your shoulders drop? Does something inside you feel just a little less braced? Gently look around this place. Notice the light, the colors, the texture. Now focus on what you hear in this place. What sounds or stillness? As you move around, notice what you feel. A gentle breeze, warmth, coolness, softness. What are the surfaces like? What is the ground beneath you like? Just focus on the feelings and sensations of anchoring yourself in this place. Let yourself be held, safe, supported, at peace. Take one more look around, and when you're ready, take 3 slow breaths, gently letting the image fade, knowing you can return to this sacred place at any time. If it feels right, you might let this place gently become a source of inspiration. Without trying to capture the whole scene, open your sketchbook or pick up a brush and simply respond to what stood out most for you. A quick line sketch, or a particular shape or element, a feeling or color. You don't need to recreate the place unless you really want to. You don't need to make something finished. Let it be an impression, a quiet conversation between memory, body, and your hand. Even a few marks are enough. If you'd like, after this video, take a few quiet minutes with a journal and reflect gently without pressure or overthinking. What place came to me, and what does it offer me right now? What sensations or emotions did I notice as I imagined being there? What small part of that sense of safety or familiarity might I carry with me today? There's no need to overanalyze. This isn't about doing more. It's about recognizing what already holds you and solidifying your connection to the anchor to let yourself return with ease. You might enjoy doing this while enjoying a cup of tea, sitting outside, or resting. There's no special time or setup required. As we come to a close in this video, I want to be honest with you. My own creative life has continued through many seasons, through full professional workloads, personal responsibilities, caregiving, loss, rebuilding, and change. Continuity hasn't come from balance or certainty or perfect systems. It's come from learning how to return earlier and more gently. This has been one of the ways I've learned to interrupt burnout before it takes everything with it. I didn't understand this during my first burnout, or my second, or even my third. It's something I learned only after losing and rebuilding my creative life more than once. Sacred places have been one of those return points for me, not as escapes from life, but as quiet reminders of who I am beneath it all. Sacred places, real or remembered, create safety that allow creativity to return without force. In the videos ahead, I'll continue exploring other creative anchors: sketchbooks, repeated subjects, rituals, movement. Each one offers a different doorway back into continuity when life keeps changing. If this reflection resonated for you, please know you're not behind and you're not doing creativity wrong. You may simply be in a season where return matters more than momentum. Remember, creativity rarely needs more effort. It needs conditions where it's safe enough to stay. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, wishing you a steady, grace-filled day. and trust in whatever quietly holds and nourishes your creative life.